has a special presentation in store for us.
Margo will provide advice to students who are searching for a job.
Marquise got the chance to go to a celebration hosted at our school.
Hey,
Wizards, this is Kate,
And this is Aspen.
and welcome back to another episode of BGTV.
As if gas prices have been constantly fluctuating in recent years.
First up, Nick will educate us about these fluctuating gas prices and how it affects students.
As the year comes to a close, gas prices in the U.S. are at their lowest point of 2023.
$8 a gallon for regular unleaded.
One of the world's most critical shipping routes. Now, these latest strikes.
Sauna officials say those long gasoline lines will probably be with us for the rest of the summer, and the price at the pumps will keep on.
American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people,
farther than the
and to
gas
defend the
pump,
world
where
from grave
billions of
danger.
Americans are now paying $3 or less a gallon. Here's Tom Costello.
This is driving me crazy! And don't even get me started on the news. I mean, one day it's blaming politics, the next it's weather? And then suddenly prices plummet for no apparent reason. And then they go up, and they blame something new! It's like they're reporting from a parallel universe. It all just doesn't make any sense.
He's a weird Uber man.
No, you don't get it. Because this is a really hard issue for high schoolers to understand. There's a lot of moving parts. It's global politics. There's so much going on. There's so much noise. I just want to help clear it up for everyone, So, let's go on a wild ride.
Yeah, so it turns out you can't effectively drive and talk about a really important topic at once, so I'm doing the next best thing. See, what the news fails to tell us is the main contributing factors to these changing gas prices. You might think to yourself, well, how are they so volatile? There are so many different elements that could be contributing to it, but it really is quite simple. Simple meaning really confusing and complex.
The Department of Energy states that there are a couple of factors that influence gas prices at the pump. The most meaningful being the price of crude oil, which makes about 54% of the price.
Now you could be saying to yourself, 54% is a lot, but that still doesn't explain the price fluctuations. And I'd be right there with you. Except there's a little something called OPEC, better known as the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, is almost like a cartel monopoly, like Pablo Escobar in the 1980s. Together, this cartel owns about 40% of the world's oil exportation. Wait, 40%? You could be saying to yourself, well, 40% isn't that much. The US commits 40% of all war crimes, and you'd be kind of on the mark there, but still, we're talking about a global commodity, something that connects the entire world, connects the fabric of our global interconnectedness. Now, what is OPEC and how does it operate like a cartel? It's made up of a bunch of member countries, the leading country being Saudi Arabia, and as well as other countries from the Middle East, Kuwait, Iran, Iraq, Venezuela, and a couple of other African countries, as well as now the Russian Federation. So, as you can see, there's a lot of diverse politics and players existing in one sort of monopoly. And for some, that can be concerning. Well, not some, the whole world, it's kind of concerning. The organization itself was founded back in the 1960s in Baghdad. But today, the Saudi Arabians export at least 1/3 of the entire cartel's oil supply. While Saudi Arabia is relatively friendly to the United States, they like to boast their power over us. See, until the early 2000s, the oil industry in the US was mainly non-domestic, meaning we were importing a lot more than we were exporting. Only until the 2000s, when a new type of technology called shale drilling was made profitable, that the US became a larger player in the global oil game. Member states use their oil production capabilities to gain political favors, start wars, and end wars in some cases. Because of its vast reserves, the Middle East has been a hotbed for conflict and therefore a hotbed for price fluctuations of crude oil. Many innocent people have lost their lives in the crusade for the black gold. In a lot of cases, oil has actually been used as a hostage in order to sway the West's opinion. Update, I'm losing my mind. A common thing I hear around the high school is going to specific gas stations for a better price. And wait a minute, that price changed. Why does it change day to day? And we've officially built ourselves a D1 gas guzzler. A couple more things that go into the price. One, the actual creation of gasoline and the refining cost. This is actually why California's gasoline is always much higher, because they have a specific regulation formula that all gas stations have to follow. Another reason is distribution and marketing. So what this essentially means is that it is highly dependent on location, where you are in accordance to the nearest pipeline or to the nearest distribution center. It's kind of like a shipping cost. Gasoline is just that type of commodity where it will affect every single part of your life. Thank you for watching and listening. This has been a BGTV production. See you later, Wizards.
Next, we have another installment of Game Time with Janae.
Hey Wizards, welcome back to Game Time with Janae. And here are your past Wizard Sports updates. On Thursday, February 15th, the boys varsity basketball team played against Newburgh away and sadly lost 58-63. They continue on playing the next day, which is February 16th, home against Socrates, and won 54-53. Congratulations to Coach Rose for securing his 200th game win for boys varsity basketball. On Monday, February 12th, the girls varsity basketball team played against Monticello away and lost 29-31. They played their final game of the season on Thursday, February 15th against Newburgh home and won 61-60. Indoor track and field had state qualifiers this past Saturday, February 24th. The students going forward are Alexis Jones and Jason Arellano for the 1,000-meter run and Aubrey Surtek for the 1,500-meter race walk. And for this week, I'll be getting an inside look at one of our very own spring sport athletes and their upcoming season.
Yeah. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
So how were you introduced to tennis?
I was introduced because in 8th grade, the gym teacher, Mr. Rose, was like, hey, if you're looking for a sport, the tennis team is like spots. You gotta try out for it. So I did like the fitness requirements. It's like 30 push-ups, run a mile, do a plank for like 3 minutes, and then COVID happened. So I ended up doing.
What is your role on the tennis team? Like singles, doubles?
I played doubles last year, and I'm probably gonna play doubles again this year. Obviously everything's like very friendly between everyone. We don't have any like bad blood. So rivalries are like friendly rivalries. We'll have that with NFA because we're pretty on par with them player-wise, like how good we are.
So like your captain, like we talked about before.
Yeah.
What's like the responsibility that you have for it?
Well, there's responsibilities that are pretty mundane, like getting the clothing situation figured out for merch and getting fundraisers organized, making sure people volunteer and volunteering yourself. But then there's also like the main aspect, which is keeping the team together and bonded, making sure that like rivalries between people are disputed, and everyone's getting along well, and team morale is just overall up. That's like what you're mainly focusing on throughout the season, and even the off season too.
What would you tell your like past self? Like some advice you would give them?
I'd probably tell my past self, hey, tennis is gonna be like really hard. It's gonna be a lot of challenges. You're gonna have a lot of mental battles, but in the long run, it's gonna be really worth it because you're really gonna enjoy yourself. So make sure you stick in with it.
Coming up in Wizard Sports. Indoor track and field has states this Saturday, March 2nd, away at Ocean Reeds. Good luck to all participants in states. Well, everyone, this has been Game Time with Janae.
Nearly 30% of students in high school are employed for at least a portion of the school year.
Sometimes students who are looking for a job find it difficult due to a lack of experience with either the task or with the interview process.
Next, Margot will share some tips and tricks on how students can find a job.
Hi Wizards, and welcome back to... You're probably wondering, how do I even get a job? Well, today I'm going to be breaking down into 3 easy steps. The job, the resume, and lastly, the interview. What exactly do I mean by the job? Well, to put it lightly, you need to figure out what type of job is best for you. For example, let's say you don't have a lot of, availability outside of school. Maybe you just do a bunch of after school activities, or maybe you just don't have the best mode of transportation. Well, that would be your top priorities, making sure you're able to fit everything in together and also still have some time for yourself. So how would you go about searching for those jobs? You have a couple options to you. Right now, you can do some online job searching. LinkedIn and Indeed are some definitely good websites that you can go check out. Next would probably be just asking around your neighborhood. The job board at the guidance office always has a couple of job opportunities on there, and you should definitely go check that out. Speaking of guidance, let's go on to the resume section.
Start off, I would say you definitely want to include personal information and contact information. Your contact information needs to be up to date because you definitely want them to get a hold of you very easily. Next thing I would say would be the objective of what your goal is and what you're working for. You want to include that on there. Off the top of my head, I would say communication skills and interpersonal skills and leadership ability. That in Naviance, if you go into your Naviance account, they now have a resume building tool in there.
Thank you so much, Mr. Marburger, for some tips and tricks. If you need any help, make sure you go visit the guidance office. But now, let's go on into the interview.
What would somebody wear to their interview? Again, you want to look your best. You want to make sure you're not dressed like me, you're dressed for the part. You have a shirt and tie at the minimum, a suit is much better, a dress also is good if you're a woman, but also the fact that you want to make sure you have good posture. If you do get a tough question, take your time on it. Or if you didn't understand work, if you want to be something later on, don't just do your job. Ask if you can help in other things. And you might get that experience that you would normally not get, and they see that a person's a go-getter, they're going to look for them to raise up higher.
Now for this week's announcements.
The Washingtonville Mask and Mime Society are selling tickets for their production of Mamma Mia. Scan the barcode above to buy your tickets. The show dates are March 7th, 8th, and 9th, all at 7 p.m.
Anyone interested in performing at the Class of 2025 Talent Show on April 12th, please see Mrs. Connolly in room 246.
Looking for a job? The job board in the guidance office has recently been updated with some new opportunities for employment. Make sure to stop by to see what's new. And now for a quick commercial break.
Who are you wearing today?
BGTV. Come visit the boutique.
It's in Mr. Waldy's portfolio class in 116. We are opening during 2nd, 3rd, and 4th months on Fridays.
Black History Month is an annual celebration that occurs in the month of February that acts as a time to recognize the achievements made by African American people and their central role in U.S. history.
On February 15th, Washingtonville High School held a Black History Month celebration, which Marquise had the chance to attend.
What's going on, Wizards? On Thursday, February 15th, the United Cultures Club here at Washingtonville High School hosted a celebration for Black History Month, with food, activities, and many performances. I got to talk to coordinators and attendees about the event and the importance of Black History Month.
Black History Month to me is very important. And one of the reasons why I find that it's very important, particularly in Washingtonville, is because the children in this area here have not had the opportunity of coming in contact, particularly with people who are of color. Black History Month helps us to be able to know what our true history is. And sometimes what happens is that when you think of the word history, it's like said, his story. So everyone's story is different. But when you actually look into the real history of America, blacks do not have a very good part of it. When they created Black History Month, they created an opportunity to be able to uplift the people, to be able to understand their major contributions that they have made in American history.
To me, Black History Month is a time to celebrate my culture and heritage and take time to really remember and recognize that Black history is American history. This event was mainly about building a sense of community between obviously Washingtonville's Black community and everyone else as well who came to support. And I feel we did a really good job at achieving that. Literally as we speak, there's people over there dancing, have a good time, so yeah.
My favorite part of the event tonight was getting the girls prepared for the fashion show. I have some students in this school who have meant the world to me. When I came to Washingtonville, I adopted children to be as my own. And so I loved doing the fashion show because I got a chance to doll them up, to build their self-esteem, and to allow them to enjoy who they are.
My favorite part of the event, I'd say my speech. I feel like I put a lot of effort into it. I was glad once I finally got it done. So like I just said, I gave a speech to open the event. I did the fashion show, and I closed out with a step performance. Honestly, it felt really good just because I've spent so much time over the past few weeks just putting this event together. So yeah, it's really just nice to see how my efforts turned out.
I love Black History Month because as an educator, I've been an educator for almost 40 years. So I am thankful that I had a chance to be able to come back here and make a contribution to the young people that I love so much.
Happy Black History.
Finally, here is the next installment of Negotiating with Nick.
Red flags, everyone's got them. Today, we're going to be playing a game called Red Flag, Green Flag, and we're going to be seeing Washingtonville students' worst qualities.
Not liking roller coasters.
What? You like roller coasters?
I like roller coasters. I just went to Disney over break.
So you would want your girl to be like on the roller coaster with you?
Yeah.
So if she was on the sidelines, you'd be like, nah, she's a red flag?
Yeah.
What's a red flag in someone else?
A lot of things, honestly.
Name some. Come on.
Dude, that's kind of a hard question, I'm not going to lie. If they get the school lunch, that's definitely a red flag.
What's wrong with the school lunch, bro?
Nothing, I'm about to go get it myself.
Yeah, talking about feelings, talking about how, feelings, how somebody, the wants and needs. Are you talking about relationship?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I have probably the best communication skills you have ever seen, right? The communication skills are so good.
What's a red flag in somebody?
If they're really just wearing a lanyard.
or a chain and holding a microphone to my face.
Hello, back on for third episode in a row. What's a red flag in somebody?
Not communicating.
That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
Communication skills have to be good?
So true.
They have to be good?
They do.
Are you good at communicating?
Semi.
Somewhat?
Can be worked on.
Everything can be worked on. You have the best?
I have the best communication skills anybody's ever seen in their entire life. It's so true. It's so
All
true.
right. So if I came to you about something right now, you'd be like,
Absolutely, I'd have an answer for you.
you saw your girlfriend out with somebody else, right?
Yes.
But like, you weren't sure if it was a guy or a girl.
Okay.
So what do you do?
I talked to her about it in a nice tone way. I can't say what I want to say. I can't.
Oh, so you don't have that good of communication?
No, I can't say what I want to say on camera because I think it goes against the code of conduct.
Somebody who wears too much plaid.
Too much plaid? How about if they like Star Wars?
That's not a red flag, that's a green flag.
What's a green flag in somebody?
A green flag?
Yeah.
Very kind and caring for others. And also good with kids. Good with kids.
You want kids?
I don't want kids, but if they're good with like toddlers.
When they have like, I guess, 15 different boyfriends.
15 different boyfriends?
When they have mad boyfriends. Because they all broke up with her. That's obviously like you're the common denominator. They all broke up with you, so there's something wrong with you.
Something wrong with the girl.
Yeah.
What's wrong with her then?
I don't know.
If we having a conversation and like I just texted you, you just text me back and I send another message and now you're taking 30 years to reply. What are you doing?
What is she doing? What do you think she's doing?
What are you doing?
What is she doing?
She's messing with another dude. She's texting.
How do you know that? You're just assuming.
Of course I'm gonna assume, because what are you doing better if we talking and we having a
What
simple
if she's got work or something, or like a job, or like a life?
A red flag, I would say, is bad hygiene.
Bad hygiene? Like what's bad?
I don't know if they smell.
You don't like when people smell?
Nah.
What's a red flag in somebody?
Sus furries. When they're furries and in furry costumes.
Right. What is a red flag in somebody?
When they don't show up on time.
Like Spanish time?
No, just like being late.
You know what Spanish time is, right?
Because I do that, and I know that's a red flag.
You're not punctual, so you're a red flag?
Yes. Honesty is the best policy. I like people who are honest. That's a green flag.
Are you honest?
Most of the time. Sometimes you have to lie, though.
You have to lie?
Sometimes it's for the better.
Probably someone who's like, when they wear like blue sweatshirts and gray sweatpants. It's a little, yeah. So.
Like gray sweatpants.
Like what else?
I like gray shoes too. And, like.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, if they're like being secretive from you, not really talking to you as much, and like seeing other guys and cheating, that's a red flag. And if they talk behind your back and gossip about you.
Sounds a bit personal. Is that a bit personal for you?
If a girl like does that and they keep on doing that, like keep being secretive to at a point where I'm just tired of it, I'm gonna break up with the person.
Has that happened to you before?
That
happened?
We don't talk about Bruno.
That's all for this week, Wizards. Make sure to check out the Wizard Weekly and our student podcasts linked in the description below.
We hope to catch you next week.
I'm Kate.
And I'm Ashton.
And this has been BGTV.